Okay, we are live. Good morning, friends.
Good morning, everybody.
How we doing today? We'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get in. Cause of discomfort says hi. Yandy says hello.
Hello.
Joe and Great Animation says hi. Rat says hello. Oh, wait. All of a sudden, everybody's here.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. We went from like 1 to 106. Just hit that. Good morning. All the highs and hellos. Apparently we're underwater again.
Are we really?
Yeah. This is we are
Turn off
sorry.
the music. See if that's it. Okay. Let us know if we're still
All right,
underwater.
are we still underwater? Boy, everybody's like, okay, now I saw this notification, I had a heart attack, then I realized it was the American version, British version for life. So I thought it was the band Ghosts, but that's cool too. We have Anixia, she says hi. Brazen Spirituality says good morning. Audio is better. You know why? It might be because we were using the YouTube audio.
It could have been, yeah.
Bethany says instantly better.
Okay, so we figured it out.
All
it was
right.
the music. So we were going to be musicless, which I am totally okay with.
Yes. Well, you didn't like the copyright free anyway. So we are doing some fun stuff this morning, guys.
So
are you starting with Pete, says Steph Nerd?
Yeah. So CBS reached out to us and asked us if we would help them with their doing a Ghostmas special. And so we said, sure. And I asked them, I said, because I'm doing the little watercolor cutouts. So I asked them if I could do this live. And they said yes. So that's what we're doing, working on that. Of course, this is 1/4. This page is 1/4 of the amount of work I got to do.
Of the characters.
Yeah, I have
Good evening.
over 21. Over 21 characters I'm going to be doing, plus backgrounds.
Yeah. So this is the show Ghosts. It was based on the British show, but this is for the American version. And they've got a Christmas special coming out on December 15th. And we're just so darn excited to get to be a part of this. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a cute show.
Yeah. Oh, Ellen's here. She says good morning with a little ghost emoji.
Good morning.
What's happening says CBS reached out to you. Oh, good Lord, you're famous.
Right?
Yeah.
Trust me, we were as shocked as you are.
We were like, wait, what? But this show is really cute, and this is fairly new to us. But as you will see in all of the comments, it is not new to Bethany Primrose, who is over the moon excited about this.
Yeah.
Which is really cute. First time on a live stream.
Welcome.
I'd love to see your version of the BBC cast too.
I did a quick search and I saw it looks very similar. It looks like instead of Thor, they had the Neanderthal, which was kind of funny.
Good day, mates. I'm assuming you are from Australia, Bandit. We love our Aussie friends. Love your art. Good morning from California.
Good morning.
Good mornings from our friends today. I want to ask how you stop the bleeding in watercolor.
I dry before each pass. So I use a blow dryer and I will dry, and then I'll do another layer over it, and then I'll dry.
Pacer's here.
Hey, Pacer. Yeah, I don't really like for the colors to bleed into each other.
We are not a part of the show officially, but we are doing this promo for them for the Christmas episode, which is, I guess, kind of like being a part of the show. It's kind of fun. We're excited.
We're besties now.
Yeah, we're besties. You guys are funny. Fire Lily says, you're a hardworking man. And Ronan says, thank you for being an inspiration to many artists everywhere.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.
He tries.
So this is fun because I get to do something I really love, and I love drawing these little characters. I love doing the little cutouts. I know some of you have seen the ones I did with Bruce Almighty or Monty Python or
Princess Bride.
Spaceballs, Princess Bride. So these are fun. I love doing these.
They're a lot of work,
They are a lot of work, though. Yeah.
but they're fun. Aw, hello, my favorite art YouTuber.
Oh, hello.
Wow, we have people from Serbia here this morning.
Good morning.
India.
Well, good evening.
Yep. Good evening to all of our friends at night. How about good morning, good evening, and good night?
Shh.
Malaysia. What do you do when you're waiting for your paint to dry?
I don't. I blow dry it.
He is so
Impatient.
Yeah, very, very impatient. When CBS contacted you, did you wonder if they were wanting you to cameo in a Paperboy movie?
No, I promise you, no one wants me in person on a thing. I don't want to be in person on anything.
I think he's a little old for that now.
Yeah.
It is not horror. It's actually really cute. The show is really cute.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a.
It's a sitcom.
Yeah, it's like a sitcom. It's like it's funny and the writing's really good and it's just cute. It's really cute. It's totally like, aside from the fact that they're ghosts, it's totally G. I mean, I don't think there's anything bad about it.
No.
I mean, it's really cute. That's saying something coming from me because I get scared and stuff really quick. So, Joe in Gray Animation says it's 4 p.m. for me, but I don't know how you're able to draw and how your mind is working at the time that you're doing this. I think it amazes a lot of people that you draw and talk and answer questions at the same time.
The talking's easy, you know. Not that talking's my specialty in any way, but like I like to listen to music or audiobooks. Usually when I do art.
How did you get your Swedish medic bag? It has some exciting story.
Yeah, it was one of probably a dozen bags I bought on eBay. I was just like, I got tired of the look of traditional backpacks or satchels, and so I was looking for something that would fit my sketchbook, which was 6 inches by 9 inches, and I found one, and it was that was really all it was. It was just somebody had kept, and it still had all of the medical supplies still in it, which was amazing.
Yeah, I made him keep all the medical supplies because I mean, they're super cool. So we have a little tiny Rubbermaid tub outside with all the little supplies. I mean, everything's probably totally expired like 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But it's really cute to say that you have it and stuff. And we did have to air it out in the garage for about a month.
It did smell a bit.
It smelled, yes, very interesting. And because it's leather, you can't really spray it with anything. So you just have to open it up and let it air out. But you can find them out there. They're very expensive, but you can find them if you look.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when drawing the lines with markers?
Not too much. The hard part for me is always the pencils. The pencils is always the part that, where you can make all the mistakes. Once you have the pencils laid out, it's fine. If you saw my video from a couple days ago, where I fixed, I had already inked some stuff and then I just wound up drawing the dog over it. I'm pretty used to fixing mistakes because I make mistakes all the time, and so I'll fix them either in the paint or I'll just ignore them or whatever. But
or gouache.
Yeah, so same with paint. Yeah.
Hi, I'm new and I love your art. That's Jesse.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Sandy says, I love this show and you are one of my favorite artists.
Thank you very much.
Talk about the paper and the pen that you're using right this second.
All right, so I'm using the cheaper Canson paper. I am not using the Arches paper. And sorry, I'm just looking at his teeth.
The airplanes are flying low today.
So this is the cheaper Canson paper. It is not made of cotton or anything like that, but it is a really good workhorse sketchbook, and it's fairly cheap. So it is
If you're
actually,
gonna chop things up,
yeah, yeah.
it makes sense.
And then this is my zebra brush pen. I literally pulled out a brand new one just for this, and you can tell this is the tip of the brand new one. Here, I'll show you. And the used one, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, holy cow, that's wow.
And this one's only about a week old.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so I mean, I wear them down pretty quickly.
Wow. But it's not, but it still has ink in it.
It still has tons of ink. I've never run out of ink with these. What I do is I run out of the tip goes bad. Not bad, but I want a very fine line. I mean, you can see I can get a line this fine like that, and then I could easily then go like that and go. So you could see the difference in line weight that you get, and that's why I like these so much.
Hey, Richard's here and says good morning.
Hey, Richard.
Let's see.
And having all of that line weight difference gives you just so much more variety, and it makes things feel a little bit more natural. If everything was the same line thickness, it would feel like a cartoon.
Is that why you like the zebra brush pen so much? Because you can get the line variance with one pen as opposed to having to use multiple pens.
Yeah, yeah. Like Frank Cho, he uses the microns. And so he'll have like 7 or 8 different pens, and he just goes between the two of them for the different line weights. I like it all in one.
So it's just basically ease of use is what it is.
Yeah, or you could just say laziness.
I was trying to be nice. Hey, Joe says good evening from Italy.
Hey, good evening.
Do you plan on giving digital art another try?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Sandy says, I love this show and you're one of my favorite artists.
Oh, thank you.
Nurbik says hello from Nepal.
Hello.
Hi, do you love pencil work? Very big fan. Love from India. It's night here, says Jordan.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I like pencil work.
Linda is going to the zoo tomorrow. There is a red panda and a cheetah. I'm going to sketch there.
Oh,
but it's
fun.
snow in Denmark, so good afternoon.
Oh, well, stay warm.
Beautiful, yeah, dress warm. But if how fun. Sketching in the snow. Until you get
it sounds romantic until you're freezing your
patootie
off.
It sounds romantic and sweet until you're actually outside for like
hot chocolate
exactly.
and
Big fluffy mittens and a big scarf, and then the snow's coming down.
All right, so I can move this over a little
yes.
bit.
Yes, you can. Nick Galaname says hello from Iran.
Hello.
Fire Lily, should we use a cloth or a tissue paper if we have excess water while painting with watercolor?
I do. I always have, a paper towel. But here's the thing: if you put down watercolor and then you dab it, the first thing that's going to come up is going to be the pigment, along with the water. So suddenly you'll have a light spot. So I try to only do that if there's a spot that's just got a lot of water. What I usually do is you get used to finding out how much water you really need, and you wind up needing to dab the paper less. I usually will use this to dab the paintbrush.
Are you a vegan?
No. I'd like to eat more vegan, vegetarian types. Like change my diet. I'm just such a picky eater that I just can't find anything that I like.
Jesse, we need a little more information than what's the name of the pencil, the one you used in your videos. Which pencil?
Is it the one with the color to it or just the very light one like this one?
Correct.
The light one is 4H. The colored one is a black cherry Prismacolor pencil.
Scott, can you explain how you hand draw or even trace the faces this size and get the features to look accurate as opposed to when I tried and the eyes, lips, and noses all came out wonky.
Oh, wonky is my specialty. But what I did was I projected these and did a quick trace so that way all the body parts and everything are there. And then that way I could I don't have to worry about in the inking phase trying to fix it. So these are all just projected, quickly traced. I had to do 21 of them. So it would take me a lot longer to. Here, I will show you. Oh, here I've got it. It would take me a lot longer to.
Have a day number.
So for the same face, I would have to get the basic shape out, find the center line. Here's the eyes, the eyebrows. Here's the shape here. I'm looking at the photo, not my drawing. And then you get the nose.
Oh, Bethany put in the link to the Christmas special. There's the first look.
Oh, the teaser.
So yep. So the yes. So you guys can see
it's got the little
what
cleft
we
in
are
his
drawing
chin.
from
So
the trailer.
you see, I would be done tracing this one already, whereas I'm still figuring out where all the shapes are and doing all of this. The point is that that's why I say trace when you have to, when you're on a deadline, when you have to get the likenesses right. It doesn't mean you can't draw it. It just means that you're smart and you're using the tools available to you. CBS isn't going to care. The actors aren't going to care. The people who buy the artwork aren't going to care. It's the myth of the word cheating is relatively new, and that I think mostly comes from people copying stuff on Photoshop and adding a filter and then claiming that it's theirs. That has nothing to do with using a projection.
Who is your favorite artist on YouTube?
Um, I don't follow too many people, but a lot of the ones that I follow are the ones who were my friends on TikTok. But it would be Steve Rude, it would be Kim Diaz Home, it would be just go Van Gogh and Love Yourself. It would be those people.
This is a better idea when it gets smaller, but getting a big picture, the accuracy is lost. Even a small millimeter change makes eyes unaligned and it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Tracing is going to help your brain so you can get the correct shape and kind of remember it, I think.
Yeah, and again, there's one thing people are forgetting is that there's more than just the pencils. There's the inking stage, and then there's the painting stage. So there's more than just there's so many more ways that I can screw this up, you know. So keep that in mind.
How do you reuse the pens that are still working but not as fine as they were before?
I keep them off to the side for when I want to do stuff like the hair and I don't want the fine tip, but I've at some point I usually just give them away.
As gently used.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do art and what makes you love it?
Other artists usually and the world around me.
Do you get scared using paint?
No, the paint's the easy part. The paint is the easy part because the hard part is the drawing. So I think the hardest part is the drawing, then the inking, and then the paint. The paint could be splotchy. It could be like I can just go splotch, 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 and that character will still be there. It'll just have some weird, funky paint, and I could just say, "I'm an artist. Just trust me," and people will go, "Okay." But it's because the hard work was done with the pencils and the inks.
Do you know how to use dual tip alcohol markers?
Yeah. I have some, and they're fun. So now I'm using the old pen, and
And why?
because I don't need to do fine, I'm getting thicker lines now.
Do you get scared when you use paint?
No, no. Paint is especially water-based paints like watercolors or gouache. You can just dab them with water and lift them right up.
For those of you that are asking for some tips on things, check out the Art Hacks playlist for sketching and drawing faces and different colors and different mediums, and especially the stuff on watercolors. Check the Art Hacks playlist. That'll give you some information. This person says, I love your work. You should do some art from the British series Ghosts.
Oh,
The
yeah.
actors are iconic. They're a part of British culture.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I cannot exactly tell you how much the zebra brush pens are in the country you live in. We pay about $2.65 for them here, US dollars.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the country that you're in. I love your channel so much. It's gotten me into practicing my art more, and I love the tips that you give and advice.
Oh,
as well.
thank
so
you.
much. What would you prefer using if you didn't have a zebra brush pen? Holy moly.
I'm sure there's a couple others. I know Stuff Nerd sent me a couple, but there's
Yes.
other
The Sakura pens.
Sakura pens and I think Kuretake and whatnot. This one is just the right stiffness, as well as the water. It's water resistant, which I like.
Because you can paint right over it.
Yeah, and I guess in worst case, I would use microns, and my art would be a different style. It would probably look a little more like a Mobius type of thing.
Scott does not play any instruments. Our friend Lula is here.
Lula.
I've been your viewer for a while and just want to say thank you for inspiring me and many young newbies like me.
Oh, thank you. I love to hear that.
Harsh says, very nice and quite active channel motivates us to be more focused.
Oh, thank you.
What are your favorite paints and why?
I liked Winsor and Newton, and I just think they've been around long enough. They have a good history. They're known for their longevity, and it doesn't mean I won't find something that I like better one day, because I am trying a lot of different materials. But for me, if I'm going to spend time on a painting, I want to know that 10, 20, 100 years from now, it'll still be the pigment will still be there. And so I trust Winsor and Newton to create something with good light fastness.
So Ronan says, I actually drew Hermione Granger using the same style as you. You inspired me so much that day that I got the confidence to draw a human. Now it is a series.
Oh, fantastic.
I love your videos. Monkman, tips on watercolors are going to be in the Art Hacks playlist.
Yes.
Start there. Scott's got some great tips on that in there. His favorite color is
Payne's Gray.
Can you solve my problem of shaping the face? My shading is more than better, but shapes aren't that perfect or even good.
My thing is always, if you're having a hard time, if you've done it a couple times and it's still not working, try tracing it and see if that helps.
Esther missed the start of this. What are you drawing today?
This is for a special we're doing. We're collaborating with CBS for the TV series Ghosts. They're doing a Ghostmas special. It was a 1 hour special, I think, right?
Yep, it's a 1 hour special, and it's going to be on December 15th.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting. It's actually pretty exciting that we get to collaborate with them on
Yeah.
this. This is pretty cool. And Bethany Primrose put in the trailer, the link to the trailer that you can find.
Yeah, if you guys want to see the trailer.
Yeah, you can check it out.
There's the link.
Try Beyond Meat products. They're much better than any other plant-based product I have tried.
Oh, fantastic.
That's
Thank
good
you.
to know. Watercolor indoor only at this time of year. I have my heater going. So
Yeah.
Sainsbury's said just arrived, and I expect others have recommended it, but I would recommend the original Ghost series on BBC.
Yes.
Funny. You guys crack me up. Were you ever confident about an artwork and it turned out bad? What was it, and what did you learn from it?
I am blessed to say that I have never been confident with any artwork I've ever made. I am always expecting the worst and hopeful for the best, but it is not one of my strong suits to believe in myself that much.
Yeah, he doesn't ever wake up in the morning and go, "I'm so awesome." And if he does, I just smack him on the back of the head and go, "No, you're not." What about the Deku that you were working on?
I have to finish that. They are still sitting. I'll pull them up.
Chair behind him in the Hobbit.
Yeah. I'll show it to you. Give me a second.
There's a cyclone here in South India. Oh, that doesn't sound
no.
good.
See?
Stay safe.
So I've still probably got about maybe another half an hour of work on them.
Maybe
But yeah, not thrilled with the Posca pens.
I wouldn't say they were your favorite.
No. All right, let's move on.
Just popping in to see your amazing art.
Oh,
That's
thank
Jane
you.
421. Naomi's got to go. Have a good day, Naomi.
Have a great day, Naomi.
What sketchbooks do you recommend? Galaxy Glitch is a new artist and looking for a sketchbook. You're a big inspiration for me as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. If it's just pencil, you can find a sketchbook anywhere. Local art store. The ones I use are from Blick, and just a generic sketchbook, and then just draw everything you see. If you're going to be doing something like watercolor, my favorite is by Be Creative, also on Blick. And if you can't find that because sometimes they're sold out, I would get the Canson XL. But all of that should be on my website. Like under my art supplies. Yeah.
Yeah, in the art supply list, and you can click on those, and they'll give you the specs. So if you don't have that specific sketchbook in your country or where you are, then you can find something similar. Which art brand would you recommend for beginners? And also, what pen are you using right now?
Oh, I'm using a Zebra brush pen. Art brands, I mean, you could use Crayola if you want to. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to get into watercolors, then I would recommend. We just did a partnership with Grabby for a nice $25 set that gives you the pencil, the paper, the watercolors, the pen, eraser, everything you need. And so for $25, that's a really good deal. Otherwise, like I said, you can practice with anything.
Do you have any tips on blending inks and pencils?
Inks and pencils. Inks and pencils aren't necessarily going to blend well unless your inks are water based and you want to kind of use them with the paintbrush.
What is the main difference between a kneaded eraser and a normal eraser when making art?
A kneaded eraser is definitely made for. I think I'm just going to do that. I think that's making it look a little weird. It's softer. It's more gentle. I use it so that way it doesn't lift up the ink. And I did a video on erasers, and I show all of the different types and how they work. If you want to look that up, should be in the Art Hacks playlist. But I use them because they're gentler.
So they're only going to lift the pencil. They won't lift everything off your paper or the paper itself.
Yeah.
It is the American version of the British show Ghosts. That is correct. We are doing a promo with CBS, and Scott is working on that today. He's going to do a. Will you describe it?
Like a watercolor cutout. If you've seen the ones I've done with Spaceballs and Princess Bride and whatnot, I'm doing something like that. It should be really fun.
You guys know how much he loves to do his cutouts and all his little things, and so he's
I don't get to do it that often.
Well, it is a lot of work, which is one thing, but they're also so funny. So usually when you do them, they're hysterical. So let's see.
Plus, CBS did give us a giveaway that we're going to be able to do as well.
Oh yeah.
For our happy Christmas. Ghostmas.
Correct. You guys will have to stick around and wait and see what that's going to be.
I think we'll be putting the video maybe around Tuesday, around the 12th, I think.
Yes, whenever the 12th is. I don't have the calendar in front of me. You inspire me to draw. I love your style.
Thank you very much.
Father's Chapel says blessings from Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, thank you.
Kira would like to know, how do you find time to draw? That's a good question.
When I would work a regular job, I would, come home, have dinner, and then sit down in my art studio and paint what I wanted to paint. And that's how I would take freelance work or work on my portfolio. And it's tough, but it's what I wanted to do. It was my desire, my passion. And then when things go bad and we're out of work or this or that or whatever, I go back to my art. That's where I go. It's my comfort.
Sanctuary.
It's my sanctuary. Yeah. And so for me, it's if I'm at a funeral, if I'm someplace uncomfortable, if I'm in a crowd, I just go to my art. I put my headphones on and I do my art. So just for me, that's just part of how I make it through the world. So it's not a chore, is what I'm saying. It's not
a have to.
It's not a have to.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I guess you could say I have to help me get through. So for me, it's part of who I am. It's a part of.
Talk about what you have with you, like the little sketch wallet or a little sketchbook that you bring with you from, if you're sitting at the dentist office or something, you draw there.
Yeah, I mean,
I always have something with you.
I'll always have something with me.
Yeah.
And because I mean, you can spend all of you could waste so much time on social media, on like TikToks and YouTubes and whatnot, doing stuff like that, or you can use your time to draw. Mm-hmm. And so it's really something that you have to consider.
Will you ever do a drawing only in graphite pencils for a live? Also, good morning. That's Nervic.
I have a few times, and there's a couple videos on it. But yeah, I mean, I could do it again.
I think people just like to see you do different mediums. Right now, Scott's going to finish this, and then he'll finish the Posca pens, which is not really like, we sort of push that to the side because this is more important right now. So, but the Poscas he'll finish also. What is your best recommendation for good and cheap watercolor and/or watercolor paper?
We just partnered with Grabby for a set for $25. So if you look at the video from a few days ago, where I'm drawing Wednesday Addams, you'll see that, and it's $25, and you get the paper, the pen, the pencil, the watercolors, eraser, everything. That's probably the best deal you're gonna get.
If you're just starting out and you don't know what you're gonna like or not like, that would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
You get the paper and everything all in one. You don't have to think about it. The kit comes in, you open it up and you go, cool, and you can start drawing.
Yeah. And then when you want to try stuff that's a little bit more professional, you can go to my art supplies section. And if you want to see other stuff that I've tried, there's a section where it's products that I've tested. So you can kind of see I've tried everything from Crayola to, Etcher Labs. I've tried stone paper. So I tried different stuff so that way you guys could see how it feels, how it looks from an unbiased point of view. I'm not paid to do these things. So that's my honest opinions.
You should also know too, one thing I think I'm going to point out today, because a lot of people keep saying, well, what's the best this and what's the best that? So while these things are the best things for Scott, you might try something like a lot of people love the Posca pens. A lot of people love acrylics, and they're not Scott's favorite. He likes watercolor. Just because Scott doesn't necessarily like using a medium doesn't mean you won't like it.
Yeah.
So you can find something out there that you like. Like we bought those gouache or acrylics or whatever that were $5 for the package.
Yeah.
And try something different if you think, oh, maybe even though Scott didn't like that, I like the way it looks, or I like the shininess, or I like
the art, just like the mediums, is based on your personality. It's based on your tastes. It's based on all of that. So that's why I'll always say I don't particularly like these, or I think these are fun, or whatever it might be. You take it with that. You might look at it and go, God, that actually looks like I would really like that, and give it a shot.
And try it and just see, because it's so personal.
Yeah, there's no this is the it's the same thing with art. There's no this is the right way to make art. This is the right kind of art. This is,
I just want to make sure that everybody understands. Yeah. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean they might not like something.
The thing is that some people say digital isn't art. Some people say anime isn't art. Some people, there's no right or wrong. There's no this is art and this isn't art. So if you like this medium, if you like Posca pens, if you like just working in pencil, if you like hyperrealism, or if you like abstract, it's all art. And the point of art is to tell a story. The point of art is to evoke some emotions. The point of art is to just make you happy. So just don't listen to people who tell you what's the best, or what's this, or what's that. Just
Emma says, I have arrived. Oh, we love you, Emma. You're so cute. You've inspired me to paint along with Bob Ross. I paint floating trees, and I owe it to you for inspiring me.
Oh,
Hexawari.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
What is the best sketchbook for colored pencils?
I don't really have a sketchbook for colored pencils, but it would probably need to be something like one of those multimedia, something thick. You're going to want something that has, where the pages have some sort of thickness to it, because otherwise you're just going to be pushing down into the page past it, and that's no fun, because then you're just kind of ruining the next page.
Nothing says hello currently at school. Do not get in trouble for being at school. Don't get in trouble watching us. Okay, Scott uses the 4H Faber-Castell pencil for the sketches, and the purple pencil he uses is a black cherry Prismacolor. His favorite art supplies for coloring are going to be the Winsor & Newton watercolors. Oh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you, Michael. You're so sweet. Which artist inspired your love of drawing and rendering hair?
Oh, the hair is definitely Alphonse Mucha. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes, we can see that fine. Thank you. Aw. Hi, David. Happy Friday. David's joined us.
Oh, hey, David.
And if you guys have questions about the digital stuff, David, if necessary, is our resident digital artist, and he's very talented. He draws some very lovely things. Okay, here's an interesting question. What's the difference between inking before watercolor and doing watercolor before inking?
There's no difference at all.
Is it personal preference?
Personal preference. I like the boundaries. I like to have it all kind of mapped out, but it is definitely a preference thing. The one thing is that the watercolor is going to cover up your lines unless you have very dark lines. The thing is that if you do the watercolor first and then the inks second, you won't be able to erase the pencil lines because they're going to be underneath the paint. So that's why I do it. So see these pencil lines here? If I was to paint over this and then go and ink over it, the pencils would still be there. So some people want you to still see the pencils.
Really? Underneath the watercolor?
That's just an art thing. Some people,
Preference.
want you to see the underlying stuff, and that's totally fine. Me, I just want to clean it up.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's just a difference of what they want it to look like.
Yeah.
I wish I had a Hobbit hole. My grandma has to drag me outside to do something most of the time other than school.
Yeah.
Even though I dislike being out there, any tips to not dislike being outdoors?
For me, it is bring a sketchbook. So at least then, if I'm going to go out and if I got to sit at a grocery store or a department store or something like that, or even just sit in the car, I can sketch. And that at least, and what happens is then you start to realize you can look back on all of the little stupid mundane stuff that you do sitting in a doctor's office and whatever. And it's like a recording of your life, which is kind of cool to be able to look on your boring, stupid life and go, it was boring and stupid, but I have pictures.
Okay, Bethany's been really good about putting in who the characters are. She writes, the character Scott is painting now is Alberta. She was the Prohibition area lounge singer. She's full of sass, and I love her. She really is full of sass.
Yeah.
She's great. She's great. She shuts it down like, oh, she's amazing. She's funny. Honey, what's your favorite song?
Future Love Paradise by Seal.
Let's see. The pen looks so small in Scott's hand. Oh, God. Is it important to have a kneaded eraser when working with watercolor?
Not important. Again, I mean, these are personal preferences. Let me put it this way. The art supplies that I use are like the clothes that I wear. So if you were to say, is it important to wear a vest? No, it's not. Is it important to wear, leather boots or something? No, it's not. You can wear sneakers. So again, the stuff that I do is what I like for me. You don't have to use a kneaded eraser. And again, there's a video that shows the difference. I could use the Magic Rub eraser. It tends to lift up the inks. So what happens is my ink lines might go from say 90% black to 80% black. And then I might want to have to go and re-ink them. But I've used both. It's just you find out what works best for you. So just remember, art supplies, just like your art style, is the same thing as your own personal style in clothing
How?
or your taste in music. Sorry.
That's okay. How is it that you?
Or the kind of books you read. Okay, that one I did on purpose. Okay, go ahead.
You sure? You positive? Because now you've hit the new annoying level, and I'm just not gonna. I'm either gonna keep going and not let you get a word in edgewise, or I'm gonna come smack you. Pick one. Okay. How do you not smudge the inks while you're inking on the paper like this?
Oh, the inks don't smudge. They dry pretty much instantly, especially on watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is very absorbent, so the inks go down into it. If I was using something that was very slick, then the inks would still be wet. But because it's on watercolor paper, it absorbs it very quickly.
Okay, Fresh Ink says, I'm in class right now, but I already finished all my work, so I'm glad I was able to make it here. Good, I like to hear that. You finished your work, and you're not going to get me in trouble.
Donna doesn't care about you. She just wants to make sure she doesn't get a letter from a teacher.
I don't want to get in trouble from the teachers. I have heard from several people that we are, they show this in his art class, And that's okay if they're showing us an art class. But if you're in math class and you're watching this, I don't want to get in trouble with your math teacher, okay? Or your English teacher or anybody else. Could you try the brand Arteza? They have colored pencils about 20 pounds cheaper than Prismacolors. We will look
Arteza.
into that.
I think I've heard of it. Let's look
Yes,
into it.
we will look into that. Let me write that down. You have 4,000 Post-its here and you have stuff written on every single one of them.
That's why they're there.
Just here we go. All right, Arteza. Let me write that down. Okay, so mechanical pencils. Scott doesn't use, but that doesn't mean that they are not.
Yeah, I have some, and I love them.
My son loves mechanical pencils. He used to draw with them too. He likes mechanical pencils. That's another preference thing, you guys.
Yeah, if you saw that the collaboration I did with Nikki, the one Just Van Gogh and Love Yourself, she used a mechanical pencil in her drawing of me.
Oh, Box TV's here and says hi.
Hey, Box TV.
Even said hi to Arwen.
Oh.
Thanks, you're so cute. Arwen, you got some lovies this morning. So far, the 3 ghosts that Scott has drawn are Pete, Isaac, and now Alberta. This person says, I binged the whole thing with my family in a day.
Oh.
A lot of people are noting that the BBC, this was on BBC First, and that is correct.
Just like The Office.
First. Yep, just like The Office.
You guys make all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then we rip it off.
Santa's here. Good morning, Santa.
Hey, Santa. Just in time for Ghostmas.
Yes, we are doing a collaboration with CBS for Ghostmas on December 15th. We're super excited.
And Santa and I are going to be collaborating soon, too.
That's hush hush. That's hush hush. Somebody wants you to draw Harry Styles. Let's see. I just want to say you are hugely inspiring me as an artist, and I'm a very big fan, and your art style is absolutely beautiful, and I aspire to be as good as you want.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
Hey, I just want to do a special shout out to Santa. Thank you for coming and popping in. I know you're so busy.
Yeah, this is your busy time of the year.
I know, and you made time to come and say hi to us.
And they announced that is it the Disney Museum? Santa's going to be reading some books there. Yeah.
Oh man, I want to go.
I know.
Can I leave you home and go?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any suggestion for starting digital art for a newbie? Shayari, I'm going to put you with David if necessary. David, if you're listening. Shayari has questions for starting digital art. Can you make some suggestions? Pretty, please. Which would be great. Please do wet on wet techniques.
I'm not really a fan of wet on wet techniques because it's just, the colors just kind of all bleed together. But
what art supplies would you recommend for beginners?
A pencil and paper. Just learn to draw. That's the most important thing, is just to learn to draw.
Lined paper or plain paper?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, plain paper if you can get it, but lined paper will work just fine. And then just draw what you see. Just draw what you see every day. Get your hand and your eye to work together, and you're going to be fine.
How do you avoid art block or have less art block?
I've got a video on that, but essentially, I go to museums. I'm inspired by other artists, so that's me. Is I'll see someone else's art, or I'll see a cosplay or photography, and I'll just get inspired to want to paint it. Or TV shows like this. It's the costumes. It's the art. Other people's art inspires my art.
Scott has done some anime, several pieces. You can go back and check. Very recently, he's done several pieces in different mediums that he's.
And I promise I will finish this one I was doing in Pasca's the other day.
It'll be next week. Yeah. They want a video on pencil sketching, so we will add that to the list of things to do.
Pencil sketching or
pencil sketching.
Okay, but pencil sketching as in just doodling or finishing or doing a tight pencil, like, because I did one on realism with pencils.
I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't say. So Grim Jow Gaming, a short video on what type of pencil sketching. Are you enjoying the drawing so far?
I am. And it's funny because as I'm doing them, I'm going, like I was looking at the little feathers, the fringe, and I'm going, I have to cut around this. And so I'm starting, so like with the fingers, I'm like, I'll just try to keep these fingers really close together because I'm like, I don't want to cut around these fingers. So that's the part that I'm starting to get a little, oh God, I forgot there's still 2 more phases. So there's the pencils, the inks, the watercolors, then the cutting. Then I still got to do the background, and then I've got to whole act them out. So these are a lot of work. I forgot how much work they were.
Yeah. You always think it's going to go quicker than it does.
Yeah.
And yes, Brazen Spirituality. Bethany will be having videos forthcoming on oil painting. She has promised. British artist says, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Do you do lives only on YouTube?
Yes, we used to do TikTok, but we stopped doing that. We're just YouTube now.
It's been much better for notifying you guys and for clarity, and the screen allows us to show you more of the actual artwork and Scott's palette when he's drawing, those kinds of things. Oh, and David's asking questions of Shayari. Yay! Love that. Okay, if you hear snoring, it's not me. Our 11-year-old dog.
She's out.
She is sawing a log in the background back here. It's kind of funny. Mohammed says, as a student, I fail many times, destroyed papers, and that's a little bit depressing. So please, any advice to overcome this? Thanks.
My thing is I fail every day. I've failed 50 times so far just on this piece right here. One thing that I've found is good is to keep your failures. Work in a sketchbooks so that way you can look back and you can see your improvements. If you keep hiding your failures, you're not going to be able to look back and see how far you've gotten.
No, you want to put them all on display like Scott does.
Yeah, I do mine publicly.
He does. He fails publicly every day.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some pieces you just want to rip up and throw away, and I totally and I totally get it. But I would say if you can work in a sketchbook so you can look back on those pieces.
Okay, so talk really quickly about your recording setup, what you have set up there.
Right now, what we're using is a webcam, and it's on a big tripod that's on the ground.
On the floor.
Yeah. So we used to do it off of an iPhone, but I think it was a little shaky, and I think it's better for working from the computer.
Yeah, we've had a pretty stable connection since we've been doing this, with the exception of the audio the other day. We figured that out, which was good. Scott has never painted miniatures before. And he did try Poscas, but the video's not up yet. He's got to finish the video on that one, but that's not going to be till next week.
I love how my watch just told me it's time to stand up. I've been standing up for an hour now. Jeez.
He paints standing up, so hi, how do you do that? I could never. You are so talented. I'm still learning.
Oh, thank you.
Zoe. And you know what? Yes. Please don't ever stop learning. What can I do if I'm upset in my drawing? It's me, Sunshine's art.
Oh, don't be upset. I mean, look, here's the thing to understand about being an artist. You're always going to be striving to get better. You're never going to attain that place where you're like, I'm perfect. I've learned everything. No one does. But what you do have to understand is you have to take a moment to stop and turn around and look back on how far you've come. It's okay to keep wanting to get better, but you got to appreciate how far you've come. That's the part that a lot of artists don't do, is just step back and appreciate the improvements that you've made in your art and the things that you've learned. You are a much better artist today than you were last year. You might not feel it, but you are.
The webcam is mounted on a tripod that stands on the floor. So, Emma's so funny. What can I say? We make good TV. You do indeed. No, I haven't decorated the Christmas tree yet. It is up. The lights are on it, but I have to get the ornaments out and decorate it. I've been just running back and forth between different things, and that's sort of. I figured the tree's up and the lights are on, so as far as that goes, it'll be dressed before the kids come home for Christmas. So, do you have a trick to remember proportions while drawing?
Yeah, the tricks that I got from How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. So I would definitely look that book up. But essentially it is gosh, they have one where it's, like 7 heads tall is this kind of character. And but for me, it's always, always, always looking. I look at what I'm drawing. I try not to draw from memory. I try to look at a photo, look at reference, and that's how I do it. You can just measure the head, use the head as the measuring, and that's usually the best way to do it.
Okay. Did you try acrylics? If yes, how are they? Scott's got several videos on trying acrylics.
Yeah, yeah. The latest one was if you look for the one with if you look for the one with the Punisher, that's acrylic paints.
Paints.
Yeah.
But you did try acrylic markers.
Yeah.
And those are all in the
Products testing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can you do lineless art?
Yeah, I can. The lines are just kind of a style thing.
I wasn't there to comment a person for inspiring people, but I have said Pete Gooston. He is blind, has amazing humor. He wouldn't be able to see, but it would be really neat.
I have heard a lot of people saying, did they just lose a dog or something like that? Or
I don't know. I'll write the name down.
A couple people have asked me.
Will Scott do a live by drawing Iron Man, or will he get copyrighted?
No. I mean, you can draw whatever you want to. You don't have to worry about copyrights. But I have drawn Iron Man a few times. If you look, there's a Marvel video, and you'll see Tony Stark in there.
Let's see. How did you learn to shade and color your art?
By practice, obviously, but some of it is by drawing things enough times to where you learn it. The other one is by looking at other people's art and how they do it and copying that. So a lot of what you learn you get from copying the people that you like. It works the same as authors, fall in love with a certain author's style and they try to mimic it. Musicians, they fall in love with this kind of music and they try to mimic it. It's the same thing with art. You see an artist style, you mimic it, and you make a part of that your own. Somebody loved Elvis, made that their own, and then that became Aerosmith, and then somebody in the next generation grew up loving Aerosmith, and then they became Nirvana or whatever. It's
inspiration.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Scott's been drawing since he was about 6 or 7. And he comes from a very, very artistic family. So it sort of came natural to him, but he has been practicing for, how old are you, 54?
Yeah.
40, 30 years? 40, I don't know, 45 years? I don't know, long time. What ink do you use?
This is a zebra brush pen. It's my favorite pen. There's a link in my art supplies list. I get them from Blick.
Mm-hmm. Scott's never sat outside in the snow and painted.
No, you won't catch me sitting in the snow for anything, really. Not on purpose.
Do you know much about pencils? Do you prefer them wooden or mechanical? Also, can you tell the difference between charcoal and non-charcoal? That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, I do prefer wooden over mechanical, just because I like the tip better. But they're both perfectly fine. And then what was the second part of the question?
Do you prefer wooden or mechanical? And then can you tell the difference between charcoal and non-charcoal?
Yeah, you can. Charcoal is definitely softer, like really soft, like brittle soft. And it also smudges very easy.
Isn't it flaky?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be like using an 8 or a 10B
And
pencil.
charcoal is what we used to use in figure drawing class.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Exits here says, Scott, it's been a while. I want to thank you for helping me get through my freshman semester of college. You help with keeping the creative lights on and keep knowing traditional art is still important.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you. And congratulations getting through that first semester.
That's a rough semester to get through. Everything's new and challenging and exciting all at the same time. So good for you. Okay.
Okay, we're almost ready to start
We have
painting.
not seen the original BBC version at all. We have seen the US version. Talk about what kind of paper you are using right this second.
This is Canson XL watercolor paper. It is my go-to for stuff like this. It is not as nice as the Arches paper, which I only use very sparingly because it's very expensive. But it is a very good, relatively inexpensive paper. The Canson.
Will Santa visit you on his sleigh or by his car? Okay, dude, seriously? I don't even know Nurbic. Come on. It's
Sleigh.
Sleigh. I mean,
yeah, Santa sleighs.
Come on. Santa sleighs. Scott does not do drawing classes, guys. I know several of you have asked about that. Redbird says, don't feel bad. Our tree's naked too. Good morning, Lily Check. Good evening from Turkey, says Zura.
Good evening.
Let's see. Why do you prefer standing to sitting when making art?
I don't know if I prefer it, but I will say this: my posture is probably a little better because I'm not hunched over. I'm standing pretty straight. It's just I hurt my back playing hockey, decade ago, and 2 decades ago, I think. Right?
You were in your late.
No, I was 40.
No.
Yeah.
No, you heard it before then when you were like 32.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So it's easier for my back. This is the TV show Ghosts on CBS, and we're doing a collaboration with CBS to do for Ghostmas. Yes. So this is just kind of a sneak preview while I work on it because I have a lot of these little guys to cut out.
Yep, and
paint. Yeah.
If you've seen Scott's cutouts, and he's done videos of cutouts, that's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing. This is not a me thing. I do nothing for these cutouts, but
say
I'm supportive.
Oh yeah, are you done yet? Are you done yet?
Followed by, come on, let's go. You got to get working on this. So, okay, there are 2 types of pencil charcoal. One and the non-one are pretty soft and powdery because of the charcoal powder, but I really can't tell the difference between them. You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. I think the best thing that you're going to do is go to your art store where you buy the supplies and ask them, because every time we go to an art store, the people who work there are so wonderful and gracious, and they will answer any questions, and they usually will let you try everything too. They usually have little sample pieces of the pencils or charcoals or whatever, and you can take a look at those. All right. He just left his service dog, Super Dog, and now he has Steve.
Oh.
Yeah. Galantha says, I've been making art my whole life, and I still don't know how to figure out what to draw if I have art block. Oh, that's easy. You draw a red panda. If you have art block, you always draw a red panda.
Works for me.
Because it makes you smile.
Now go to a museum if you can. Look at classic art. If you look on my website under resources, you'll see photos, photo reference. There's cosplayers. There's so many things that you can be inspired by.
Go to the zoo. And even if you can't get out, ever since COVID, a lot of the museums have opened up their online collections. And so you can just Google, like the Louvre has a ton of reference from different artists over the years. And sometimes they'll rotate genres that are open, like this month we're opening the 1700s and whatever else. So look, if you can't get out to go someplace to be inspired, go online and try that.
Okay, we are ready for paint.
No, Zoe says, thank you for talking about my message. This made my day. Hi from the Netherlands. You're so cute. We need to come there. We need to go to The Hague. What animal at the National Zoo are you most excited to meet and paint? Red pandas!
Donna really wants to meet the red panda.
Red pandas.
I really liked meeting Gus, or Felix.
You're obsessed with cats. You're obsessed
He was
with
a
cats.
tiger.
I know.
A freaking tiger.
But he looked at you like you were lunch.
He did not.
He
We
did
made a
too.
connection.
You made a connection because he kept licking his chops going.
Tonight we ride, Felix.
Yeah. He looks delicious. I'll fake it. We can quote unquote ride, and then I can chew on your ankle. I would also like to meet the rhinos. I know you can't officially like meet the rhinos because you can't go in with the rhinos and actually pet them. But I would love to see them like up close. That would be one of their things. Hold on a second. I gotta check on her really quickly. Sorry, our old puppy here. Hold on. Of course it did. Of course it did.
Let's see. Can you guys see? Let me move this up. Over. There. Good. Okay. Move this up over here. And let's paint some skin. Oh, of course. All right.
Sorry about that, guys. She is 11 years old. She's an old lady. Sometimes she needs a little help up the stairs. I work at a zoo. Jasonian says, I'm always so happy to see that they are inspiring art, creativity, and connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. I don't know how you do it. I would never leave. I wouldn't be able to look at their faces, and I know some people just think animals are, oh, they're just animals. But I look at their faces and I see a person in there. I see a soul in there. When I look in their eyes, it's crazy. And every one of them has their own personality. We do have a Discord server for you to join, and perhaps one of our lovely mods could put the link in there. That would be great.
Blow dryer.
I love how people are commenting on other people's things. And Amateur Styles is exploring different things in art. And Redbird says, just keep on trying things. You'll find something that feels comfortable and that you love. I love that you guys are supporting each other that way. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Like, I'm not artistic at all. I can do stick people, but I love to write. So I write in a journal. And I love that you guys are like, everybody has their thing that they can find, that they can do. It's fantastic. Redbird says, massage therapist here. Standing is so much healthier than sitting. Sitting wrecks all kind of muscles and sets up all sorts of maladaptive muscle compensations.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
There you go.
I was worried about those maladaptive things. Thank you.
You're funny. Tigers are people too. They are indeed people. They look like they're in their eyes. They look like people. But I'm still going with
blow dryer.
know that I could pick one. What's your favorite ghost? I knew we were.
It's either Isaac or Thor.
Oh, you would like him, wouldn't you? You would like him. I don't really know. Okay, so see, Trevor just gets my 80s thing. Like, he just gets my 80s vibe, right? Like, he's all the 80s vibe, but he's annoying and drives me kind of crazy. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I like Pete because he's so wholesome. You know?
Yeah.
I really like Pete. He wants everybody to get along, and I don't know. I like Pete. I'll go with Pete. I knew you guys were going to ask that question. I knew it. I don't like to pick.
I'm trying to remember where I've seen the actor for Thor before. They seem very familiar, and I cannot remember where what movie or show or whatever that they've been in.
I do not know. I went on to the lead character, Samantha. I went on to her IMDb, and I looked at her, and I could have sworn she was in the Prince thing that was on Netflix, but it's not on her IMDb.
You thought she was Amy Adams?
No. That wasn't Amy Adams.
Oh, I thought you meant like
No.
Enchanted.
No.
Okay, blow dryer. Okay, so one thing I want to point out, and I will show you the reference.
Oh, really?
So one thing I want to point out. Okay, can you guys see the reference? Okay, honey.
Yes, we can see the reference. Okay, thank you. I'm looking up something. Sorry.
So you can see the reference. Okay.
Yes.
So you can see Do you see how
the paper's blown out though, with the light.
I can't do. Okay.
Yeah.
How's that?
Better. Thank you.
Okay. So you can see how the shadow is very specific or whatever, and I'm just throwing some blotches down. I'm kind of leaving a little bit. That's the fun artsy part about watercolor. I have the ink lines in, so now I could just indicate some semblance of light and shadow with the colors. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so the thing I'm trying to do is be a little looser with my colors and not be so specific. It's not like the shadow is right here and I've got to get this form just right. I'm indicating skin tones. I'm indicating light and shadow, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So
because they're going to be the cutouts.
Well, also just for art's sakes, it doesn't, that's the thing is that as you start to make art, as you start to get more comfortable, try to push stuff away from being perfect, photorealistic. What sets your art outside, apart from photos? And that's the thing. That's the imperfections, the splotches, the stuff that just looks a little off or a little more interesting. That's what you're looking for. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm thinking of right now, just so that way you guys can all understand what I'm doing is I'm trying to say, how do I make this less perfect?
Will you keep a red panda forever if the zoo allows you to bring one? Yes, I would. I would keep a red panda forever. I would have the red panda in my house. I would snuggle with the red panda. I would give them their own little basket, their own little bed. I would love the red panda like they were my own little person. That's how much I love red pandas, but there you go. Cora says, I was inspired by October and made an advent calendar for my girlfriend with a bear and an owl enjoying winter and Christmas activities. I called it December.
Oh, that's fantastic. God, I love it.
Oh, would you please send us a photo of that? I would love to see that. How cute is that? Nellie says, when did you realize you were good at art?
I think, yeah, it's true. But I think, in junior high, I was drawing and people would say, oh, that's really good. That kind of thing.
Ellen says, darn it, you're making me stand up now. It's me, Sunshine's Art says, Scott, I'm so thankful because you taught me good advice that I can use in my drawings. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Bethany does know a lot. She just soaks up information. I don't know how she does it, but she does. And she'll just pop up with things that you never even really remember. But, oh, I remember this happened on this day at this time and this thing. And you're just like, seriously, dude, really? But there you go. She says Bethany's favorite ghost has a tendency to change with each episode. I can see that. Yeah. Oh my God! Did you know that that Jay, the husband, he was in that Marry Me movie with? I was like, God, I know this guy's face. I know his face. Oh,
the one you've watched a million times.
The one I watched a million times with Jennifer Lopez. He was the other math coach in the movie, and I was like, God, I've seen him a million times, and it was like Marry Me, and I'm like, no. And then I looked, and I was like, oh, it was him. I knew it. So it was so funny. It's like I don't connect dots well, but when I do connect dots, like everyone within a 5-mile radius knows I've connected a dot because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that one. So there you go.
Yeah.
Lily Check says, I wanted to say, Scott and Donna, that I have started listening to your song recommendation of Seal's feature Love Paradise.
Oh.
Welcome to the dark side.
I hope you liked it.
Chroma C wants to know, what part do you believe is the most tedious part of art?
I think the drawing part, because that's where all the mistakes can happen. The proportions, the composition, the facial expression. That's where all of that part. That's the part I like the least. Is the drawing part. The inking part is probably the most tedious. So I know the question was what's the most tedious, so maybe it would be the inking part, because that's where you kind of really have to clean it all up, but
it has to come together in the inking part of it. Yeah. Scott's not going to give you advice on your art, but if you want to show us, the best place to show us the art is on the Discord.
And just tag me.
And yeah, just tag us on there. There's a place in the Discord called For Scott, and you can post stuff there so that he can look at it. And it's just so much easier than social media because we get
blow dryer
messages on social media. Everybody's like, oh, the ugly face.
Yeah.
This is the advice I've needed all week. You're so cute. That's Kiona. Do you have any tips on fighting art block? I really want to draw, but they're just Pat Let's Go is having some trouble.
Yeah, there's a video on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see.
All right, and then I need some yellow.
Your Bethany's so cute. The ghost that Scott is currently painting is Pete, the scoutmaster that took an arrow to the neck, and the most wholesome character in the show. He really is. He's the most wholesome character.
That episode.
Yeah.
You know.
Again, Ronan, everybody, if you want to share your art with us, it's going to be the Discord is going to be the best way to do it. Do you know a good site for random references? I use Quick Poses for a while, but I think the database is pretty small. Go to Scott's video on where he finds his photo reference, and that's going to help you.
Yeah, there's a resource page too on our website.
There's a ton of information there. And Marguerite from British Columbia is here. Hi, Marguerite.
Hi, Marguerite.
What is your favorite Christmas movie, honey?
You
never know. Santa might be watching.
Yeah. I would probably say It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, It's a Wonderful Life is absolutely my favorite. I also love White Christmas, and I love all of the animated versions, but my favorite is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and you can't tell me, and otherwise fight me on it. When I was a beginner artist, this is Megan, I really enjoyed watercolor, but I was pretty bad until I found your content. I was able to find my own art style.
Thank you. That's great.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Let's see. Okay, this is kind of an awkward question, just the way it's worded, not because it's an awkward question. But when you're blending watercolors to make skin tones, is it better to wait until it dries underneath? Like, would you dry it layer at a time?
That's how I do it. There's no right or wrong, but that is how I do it. I like to dry in between each layer. So that way, so like right now, you see how I'm adding the shadows? I could do that line and it's not going to go blah and just kind of blend with everything. So
Because it's dry underneath.
because it's dry underneath. So I can get sharp graphic lines for my shadows like this and not have to worry about anything. And that's why I do it. Now, some people want that subtlety because in real life, there is no sharp graphic lines. In real life, there is soft lines. But I'm not looking to make something realistic. I'm looking to make something artistic.
And stylized.
Yeah.
Lula's only watched a few episodes, but really loves Isaac. Poke Earth says, I thought I could also use watercolor because of you, but I'm pretty bad at mixing colors, so I just kind of gave up. But thanks to you, I'm practicing my watercolor.
Oh, that's great.
Practice, practice, practice.
I have no idea how I'm going to cut this arrow out, but okay.
I was just thinking that is a very, you think the fingers are bad. The arrow is so, like, skinny. I mean.
All right. So, and then.
Let's see. Yeah, you ADHD folks have a hyper-focused superpower in some cases. That is true. Very true. Stephanie has not seen the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and then writes, no one tell Donna. I see you. Oh, we are having a viewing party. OMG. Hi again, it's me, Zoe. It's pretty random, but we have a Turkish student at our house for a week. Tomorrow she has to go again, though it's pretty sad. It was a super fun week.
Oh, that's cool.
Exciting having somebody visit. Curry is painting along with you. Simon says, good tips, thanks.
My pleasure.
Lily Check likes the song and has shared the song with other people.
Oh, wow.
Where can I find the reference photo of your drawings? You just Googled it, didn't you?
Which drawings?
The ones you're doing now.
No. These were actually from the episode that hasn't aired yet. CBS sent it to us.
You use those.
Yeah, they sent us a clip, so sorry.
Sorry, that was a little behind the scenes. Oh, Margaret loves a Christmas story. You'll shoot out your eye. That's so funny. Yes, you can give a podcast recommendation. We will take them. Would you ever paint the cast of the BBC's version? We're going to finish this one first.
Yeah.
We have not seen the BBC version, and this is very new to us, but we are super excited.
If they reach out to us, I'll definitely consider it.
And Bethany just put in a link to the Ghostmas trailer that you can find. They've got a trailer up here on YouTube, so you guys can check that out. It's coming, and we will have a fun little giveaway from CBS in our video, which is going to come out hopefully on the 12th. So we'll see. Haley says Scrooged is my favorite Christmas movie. Let's see. Hope the mods get their favorite snacks if they're held hostage at the movie marathon. Everyone should get their favorite snacks. Yes, I promise. Yes. What is the best way to move from watercolor to gouache?
For me, it was just abandoning watercolor and just practicing. I just, I'm painting it over and over and over again in gouache. But one thing you could do is you could actually do a watercolor painting without the inks and then start adding gouache to it, because gouache will go right on top of watercolor, if that might be an easy way to transition.
We also have a lot of coloring pages on our website. And if you want to try something in gouache, print out one of the coloring pages on a thicker paper and try painting over it. That might be helpful for some people.
Yeah, you're going to lose the inks though, because gouache is opaque.
Right, but it gives them somewhere to start if they want to just try, Ooh, lemon cranberry pound cake, Steph Nerd, I want that. Will the subscribers of other continents such as us be able to win the giveaway? You'd have to, yes, but well, it's not really you're not really winning. We're going to have something for everybody.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, something for everybody. But
we don't know what regions will get what.
I don't know what's available to watch things in your country. Yeah, like Bethany says, it's a CBS thing, not an us thing, which is correct. So we'll put it out there, and you guys will have to check and
Let
see.
Let me blow dryer.
From Northern Ireland.
Hello.
Country I desperately want to visit. I'm a tattoo artist, and watching your videos has encouraged me to do more of my own style of art again, and not just art for clients.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love hearing that. That's great. Thanks to you, I've learned how to draw faces and color with acrylics too, says Yaku.
Oh, I love it.
That's exciting. Oh God, Nixia hasn't seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer either. You guys, I
not as many people are as old as you, honey.
I am not that old. Anyway.
You watched the original in black and white.
It was never in black and white. It was in color. Shut up. What's wrong with you? Man, I'm going to hurt you later. I'm not good at watercolor, but I'm very good at oil pastels, says Mia. That's great.
That's good. I'm not very good at acrylics.
Yeah. You weren't very good at oil pastels.
I'm not very good at a lot of things, honestly.
There we go. Oh, it's me, Sunshine says, good night, everyone. Happy Friday from the Philippines.
Good night.
Sleep well. What do you like more, Scott or a red panda? Right now?
Blow dryer.
That is accurate. Scott wakes up on certain mornings and chooses complete chaos. He'd like to join the cast, except he would be a real ghost. And Emma goes, oh, Scott just chose violence. Yes, he did. Bob says, love the muted colors on the first one there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coffee and Cream says, oh, she loves the red panda more. Yep, that's probably correct. Nixia says, Scott never mentioned a lady's age. Don't say a word.
I didn't mention the age.
You got that stupid smile on your face. I know you were gonna go somewhere with that one. Bethany says, the character Scott is painting now is Isaac. He was a Revolutionary War soldier who died of dysentery. Yeah. Do you like anime?
I did. The anime I grew up with is stuff like Speed Racer, Star Blazers, Robotech.
Who is your favorite ghost?
Probably Isaac or Thor.
Are 12 shades of watercolors enough? It's kind of a pain making the skin color sometimes. That's
what I do. I use just 3 shades for my watercolor, or for my skin tones. It's Windsor Orange, Rose Madder, which is a pink, and then Windsor Violet. But there's a video on that. Blow dryer.
Theater invested self kept thinking of Hamilton as I see you painting Isaac.
Yeah. There's a funny episode where he discovers that Hamilton, who he knew, got his own musical.
Zoe says, I just realized Trevor's missing. This is the first page of characters.
Yeah, Trevor's not in this particular scene.
Okay. There's also 3 more pages of characters he's going to be painting. What's easier to learn, journaling or painting?
Journaling. Journaling could be writing. You know, you don't need to learn anything to do journaling. You could just write. But like I said, I really think it's a wonderful thing if people start to um, draw what they see. Fill your sketchbooks with the world around you. It's a really, really good thing.
However, if you don't draw or don't enjoy drawing, you can always write about your surroundings and about what you see, which is what I did when we went to Venice.
Yeah. Blow dryer. I'm gonna have to add some purple.
Scott, it's wild how steady and controlled your brush strokes are. Amazing stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know Avatar? Oh, do we know Avatar?
Well, The Last Airbender or the James Cameron one? I mean, we know both of them, but
I'm assuming The Last Airbender.
we always.
We've been talking about anime. I'm assuming there. Ronan says, I think Scott loves his Stanley Tucci glasses and blow dryer more. He does. He does. Oh, thanks, Ronan. Props to Donna for reading her weird comments. Come on. Your comments aren't weird.
So now I'm adding the shadows, which is just some purple.
What are your thoughts on liquid graphite?
I have never tried it.
CBS is one of the broadcasting channels here in the United States.
It's kind of like the BBC.
Yeah, exactly. Like the BBC in the UK. And that is the channel where you find this lovely show. Also on Paramount. That's Paramount Plus is another place.
And then blue.
Just curious, when did you start playing video games? Oh boy.
When they first came out.
In black and white.
In black and white. In Vector. Sorry, in Vector.
Yep.
Space Invaders, Pong, Asteroids, all of that stuff. I grew up around.
Original gamers, people.
Yeah, I grew up around video games.
We've been around for a long time. Okay, I've never heard of this one. What's the difference between graphite pencils and lead chalks?
I don't know.
What's a lead chalk?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know that, Ira. I don't know. Bethany, do you know what a lead chalk is? Maybe one of the other of our art people knows what a lead chalk is. I don't know. Mods, help me out here. Because I don't know what that is. Will you ever come to India? There are so many beautiful things to draw. Ugh.
That's our hope.
We were supposed to come to India. Scott was going to do a film, and they lost their funding, and there we go. And then we weren't coming to India. I was looking forward to that. You guys have a beautiful culture and beautiful things there, and I was really excited to go.
So I'm keeping these loose, keeping these fun. Gosh, it's already 10:30.
It is.
I didn't even get a chance to paint all of them. This is going to take me all weekend to finish, I think. I still have another page and another page and another page to do. And then I've got to do the backgrounds, and I've got to cut them out. So I'm going to be busy this weekend, everybody. Okay.
That was about 6 or 7 when you started drawing. Are you using the etcher brushes right now?
Yes, I'm still using them.
We have played Nintendo.
Yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite.
Yep, zebra brush pens. You should also come to Hawaii. We've been to Hawaii, but only Kauai. We want to go back.
Yes.
We do want to go to Nepal because I have to hug a red panda. So if we end up in India, we can kind of shoot right up to Nepal. Yes, we want to go to Greece as well. And yes, we would like, there's so many places that we want to go, you guys. Everyone's like, come here, come here, come here.
All right. I think I'm going to have to take
Lead chalk is vaguely similar to pastels, but super pigmented.
Okay. We'll take a look into them.
Yes, Sweden's on the list. I promise.
Thank you for hanging out with us. I will have this hopefully done by early next week. Yep. And then you guys will see the video. And
Scott would hate them. You'd hate the lead chalk.
Okay. And then get the free gift that we're giving away for Ghostmas.
Yes. And so we will see you guys on Monday. I will be, yelling at Scott to finish this over the weekend. Muna wants a beginner class for watercolors. Pretty please, love from Nepal. Well, if Muna wants you to do it and Muna's in Nepal, you gotta do it because of the red pandas.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you all.
The link is there to the Ghostmas on CBS. That's the trailer. For
yeah,
the
watch
show.
the trailer, and then you'll see a video from us next week. But of course, I'll be posting a few more videos over the weekend.
Correct.
All right.
So
love you all.
See you guys soon. We love you. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.